Right now at 6, too close to call. The latest results in some key Clackamas and Washington County races that you might say are leaving some candidates and voters on edge. Also ahead, a guilty plea from the accused hitman. Prosecutors say helped kill his friend's wife and then stage it as a robbery. And later,
look at me, live my life for a day. I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
After a KGW investigation helped convince the VA to change its mind, veterans denied benefits over a rare disease make their case to the experts in the hope others will not have to fight this battle all over again. But we begin with this, an avalanche of no's as voters issued a crushing defeat to Measure 120, rejecting a move by Democrats to increase the gas tax and vehicle registration fees. One, in the end, most Oregon Democrats wanted to get rid of sooner rather than later. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko, and that wasn't the only tax increase that voters soundly tossed out. Libby Dowsett's live in Southwest Portland. Libby, as the results rolled in here, it was the margin on 120. Wow, that really caught my eye.
Definitely. Opponents say they weren't shocked to see 120 shot down by voters, but they were surprised to see that 82% of the vote saying a resounding no thanks.
Because look at this.
A large majority of Oregon voters saying no to a higher gas tax and fee increases to fund road repairs.
I drive every single day, so I mean, it's going to hurt my pocket.
We need the infrastructure, no matter what the cost of gas.
And the cost of doing nothing.
A yes vote on Measure 120 would have helped uphold the transportation bill, narrowly passed by lawmakers in September. It would have raised the gas tax 6 cents, increased registration and title fees, and doubled the transit payroll tax from 0.1% to 0.2%. But now those increases won't happen.
Anybody who decides they're going to raise revenue on Oregonians is going to have to really sell it.
Chris Koski, a Reed College professor, says the vote shows people appear to have less optimism in the government's ability to solve big issues like transportation funding.
And they also have to recognize that there are two pretty distinct divides in this state. There is a party that believes that government is sort of in the business of solving problems, and there's another party right now that is really against any kind of increases in government. In fact, believes the government is the problem.
Governor Tina Kotek's press secretary, Kevin Glenn, saying Wednesday, in part, quote, the governor is focused on working with lawmakers of both parties, ODOT leadership, stakeholders, and local leaders to find a path forward. He says the governor is already working on an achievable vision for Oregon's transportation system. But Anthony Smith, the state director for the National Federation of Independent Business in Oregon, says the intensity of 120's defeat has raised a lot of eyebrows.
Voters clearly are sending a strong signal to Salem saying that they've had it with being asked to pay more for the things that they expect government to do with the resources that they have on hand.
No matter what the approach, people seem to agree the problems with roads and transportation funding aren't going away.
But going forward, it's hard because it's not clear where exactly voters are willing to be taxed. And in fact, in general, taxes are pretty unpopular.
And the governor's office said the work group that's working on recommendations for how to move forward at this point has already had their first meeting at the beginning of the month. And you can watch those meetings online. We have a link on KGW.com. David, back to you.
Libby Dowsett live in Southwest Portland. Thanks, Libby. You heard it there. Beyond Measure 120, voters appear to have soundly rejected many tax increases around our region. That includes Clackamas County, where a measure to raise property taxes to maintain sheriff's office personnel. It's an increase, but to maintain current levels, it's on track to fail, with some 61% of voters saying no, the O projecting that as no. It's a similar story in Tigard, the Oregonian also projecting this as no, that public safety bond on track to fail. Taxpayers outright rejecting paying for a new $150 million police and public works building. In the race for governor, we're headed for a rematch between Governor Tina Kotek and State Senator Christine Drazen. In the Republican primary, Drazen easily topping State Representative Ed Deal and former Trailblazer Chris Dudley. The Oregonian calling this race last night within an hour. Meanwhile, Governor Kotek cruising to victory in her primary, given she did not face any significant opposition. All right, back to Clackamas County now, which released new results just about an hour ago. Position 5, a rematch between Ben West, who ousted Sonia Fisher 4 years ago. Fisher, a Laco Democrat and lawyer, is currently ahead of Wilsonville nurse and Republican West, though only by a few percentage points. Too close to call here. We expect the next batch of ballots tomorrow. And you've probably seen the ads for this Democratic primary in Washington County. Senator Janine Solman trying to fend off two candidates running to her left, Senate District 15. In just the last 90 minutes, Myrna Munoz pulling ahead. We believe there are still a significant number of ballots left to count, so keep a close eye on this one. Too close to call. More results coming out of Washington County tomorrow. Let's talk about turnout. Statewide, 37% of ballots received. Multnomah County, it's around 32. It's on par with recent primaries where the governor's race was on the ballot. Turnout in Multnomah County, all of a sudden done 37% in 2022. We might get there again. Statewide, it seems like we may end slightly higher than 2022, where the numbers you can see back there settled at 38%. Keep in mind, ballots can be counted if they arrive at elections offices up to 7 days after the election, as long as they have that all-important postmark. If you want to see results of all the other local races, there are a lot, including Oregon Senate and congressional primaries. Head to KGW.com or check out our free mobile app. To a breath of fresh air now with a live look this Wednesday evening from our Rose City Sky camera on what's turned into yet another beautiful day, a showstopper, I like to say, in the Northwest. Matt, it sounds like there's going to be a whole lot more in the run-up to Memorial Day.
We have a lot of sunshine coming our way for the rest of the week and through 2/3 of the Memorial Day weekend. Right now, Timberline right now looks fantastic. It's 51 degrees, so a bit on the cool side, but if the mountains are your destination for the long weekend, you're going to have good weather on Saturday and Sunday. Monday's a different deal. Same thing at the coast. In fact, the rain Monday will hit the coast sooner than it will inland areas, which is usually the case. But it's clear as a bell out there right now. 58 degrees at Seaside, just fantastic. We only made 69 today. I say only, that's close to average for the state, but those morning clouds kept us from reaching into the low to mid 70s because they took, well, the morning clouds turned into early afternoon clouds before they finally dissipated. Warmer down the valley, Medford the hot spot with the 81 down in the Rogue Valley. So tomorrow morning, we'll be about 51. Not that cold of a night. It'll be a nice chill in the morning hours, but still good. 75 by early afternoon will be warmer than we were all day today, and we should make the low to mid 80s tomorrow. So Thursday, the warmest day of the week. Friday is still really good. That leads us up, of course, to the crux of the matter. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. More on that Monday rain in a bit, David.
Thanks, Matt. See you in a few. In your headlines, the Oregon man accused of helping kill his friend's wife in what could be seen as a murder-for-hire plot pleaded guilty to murder charges. According to court documents, 57-year-old Daryl Riley broke into Lindy Rummel's Brush Prairie home in 2024, shot her 5 times, and staged the scene to look like an interrupted robbery. Investigators say Rummel's husband brought Riley, the alleged hitman, from Eugene to Clark County hours before the shooting. They say the two each met in prison. Riley is set to be sentenced in August. Hundreds of thousands of people insured under the Providence Health Plan in Oregon may have new providers starting next year. That's because the largest health system in the state says it's getting out of most insurance coverage, citing costs and regulatory pressures. More than 400,000 people in Oregon and about 13,000 in Washington are covered by the Providence Health Plan, the third largest in the Beaver State. Right now, Providence says it's working to keep Medicare Advantage members covered and will help individuals and employers figure out alternatives. And Oregon State economists are forecasting an increase in revenue driven largely by tax law changes. The $350 million jump, give or take, economists say, has to do with the state disconnecting from some federal rules that were part of the big beautiful bill. They caution that factors like the war in Iran and a softening labor market have downgraded the state's economic forecast.